Hi, this is Glam Gram Donna. What I'm known for on this channel is unboxings of makeup and skincare and stuff like that. But today I thought I'd do something different. Um, I had some surgery back in December, and I thought I would share my experience with that because I see a lot of people on Facebook always talking about why does it hurt so much and does it keep hurting? When does it stop? And so I'm here to share my story and hopefully it'll help other people. So I've been having knee pain for a lot of years, and last summer and fall, it really started to hurt. So I went back to getting the cortisone shots. Well, after a while, they weren't working anymore, and the physician that I saw said it was time we thought of surgery. So we had to wait 90 days because I had already gotten a steroid shot in both my knees. But my surgery had been scheduled for December 18th on my right knee. So there's a lot of pre-stuff that you do before you go into surgery. Different meds and stuff you can't take. And it's like just a bunch of stuff. And then they don't tell you what time your surgery is until the day before. And then they tell you what time to come in. And so my experience at that point had been great. The anesthesiologist was great, did everything to make me comfortable and calm. My doctor or my surgeon was the same way. It was a really, really nice first step in the surgery. I never knew what happened in the surgery until I actually saw I saw it on TikTok. So it's something that I don't want to watch or I really don't want to see because I know what happened. So they put a piece of tape about that big over the incision and they keep it on there for a week or two. I don't know if it was longer than that or not. I don't remember. And then they remove the tape. And then they tell you, not to get it wet. Don't, when you take a shower, make sure you cover it, which I never did. But it was healing really nicely. And I was lucky enough to be able to have physical therapy at my house because of the insurance that I have. So that was very helpful. And then, like I said, I didn't, um, I didn't feel scared or anything about the surgery. I thought it was, just surgery. And they kept me overnight at the hospital, which was good. But they also made me walk like a few hours after surgery, which it was a little painful, but my whole reasoning for I told the surgeon for having the surgery was so that I would be able to walk well because I do love to walk. I used to walk 3 miles a day, and I can't do that anymore. So I wanted him to know that that's the main reason I wanted the surgery because he said to me sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So he didn't want me to have any crazy expectations that I was gonna be able to like be normal with my knees. So so I had physical therapy at the house, and everything was going great. I wasn't using a cane. I wasn't using a walker. I was getting around great. And then on January 2nd of this year, um, I was waking up in the middle of the night and we have a dust ruffle on the side, all around the bed. Well, my foot got stuck in the dust ruffle and I ended up falling on my knee and ripping it all the way open. I could feel every stitch pulling apart. And I was so scared and I was so upset. And it was like 11:30 at night, so of course I woke my husband up and he kind of picked me up and made sure that I was laying flat on my back instead of on my knees. And so the ambulance came. I have no recollection of the ambulance except when I was put in to the ambulance itself. I remember falling, I remember crying and calling for my husband, but I really don't remember anything else. So, fortunately for me, the surgeon who did my surgery was on that weekend that that I was there, and so he got to like I was happy he was there because I got to have the same guy do my knee who did it before. The second time was quite a bit different. Um, they give you a nerve block, and since this was my second surgery, it was my second nerve block, which he said sometimes takes around 18 months to go away. And the fact that I had two of them, he had no idea how long that would be. So they had me walking around, and I think I left the hospital the next day around 1. And I actually did use a walker, and I did use I bought a cane later in the trial, but my neighbor gave me what we called a four-wheeler because it had a seat on it. And so we took that around in case like I got tired or my leg hurt, we could just sit in that until I felt better. So all through physical therapy was a struggle. It was an absolute struggle. And I never thought in a million years that I would be the one to rip it open. My husband used to say, "You don't get surgery in the wintertime. You may fall on the ice." And I guess I showed him that you can fall inside your house. So in this whole span of time, I had fallen 4 times. 4. So I don't know if it was the medication. So they gave me both times. I had methocarbamol as a muscle relaxer, which was 1 pill every 8 hours, and then oxycodone, which was 1 to 2 pills every 4 hours as needed. And let me tell you, I needed it. And I had to keep asking for refills, and they were fine giving them to me up until I think 2 or 3 months after my surgery. But I still am afraid to walk um, walk over or up or down on curbs, on the sidewalk. And then I have a hard time doing the stairs, either up or down. Like I'm so afraid of falling that I like literally hold on for dear life, mostly going down the stairs because when you go up, you start with your left leg, and when you go down, you step with your right foot first. So of course, going down was always the hardest part for me, and even getting to the car, like it's still sometimes hard for me to get in the car. I have to like put myself in and then bring my legs over. And same thing if I'm driving, which I started driving about a month ago, but I did not drive for 2.5 months because I did not feel that I could with my knee. So the second surgery seemed to be the hardest on me. I don't know how to explain it. Very painful. Physical therapy was painful. The one person that I had, we talked about everything. And one time he was leaving, I asked him, "Do you think we should ever do kneeling um, programs? Will I be able to kneel?" And that's all we said. But the person who came in next after his write up took it upon herself to have me kneel on the bed 3 weeks after surgery. And I looked at her and I'm like, "What?" So she goes, "Yeah, just go on all four knees now. Now go back and forth. I mean, at least 20 minutes." And I finally had to get up and say, "My knees are killing me. I can't do this anymore." And so I was in pain for probably 4 days after that because it was too soon to be kneeling. So I called the home health uh, the home health people and told them not to send me any more people because the woman that came was way too eager to get me on my knees and caused me immense pain. And so they decided that she wasn't going to come anymore, and they sent this one guy who I happen to like a lot more anyway. Like I can talk to him and he'll tell me straight up how it is and what I should do, and how I can improve my walking. So that was a really hard experience, and I still can't kneel. I can get down, like I can kneel with my left leg, but to try to get to push myself up is still very difficult. I hate to do it by myself. And I actually did it this morning, and I had to call my husband to help me get up. But that pain from being on my knees, I cannot explain how painful. I mean, I was in tears when that happened. So that was like the worst part of it. And after that, um, we would do. I think the guy that came, they decided to just put me with this one, the physical therapist, because he was excellent. And he would say, let me see you, sitting in the chair, put my leg up, trying to get me to a 120-degree angle. I think that's what he wanted, or maybe 90 degrees. I don't remember. It was all, that stuff's all like a blur. But I started doing things without um, him saying that it's a good idea. So I would go walking without I did buy a cane, but I just never felt comfortable walking with a cane. I'm only 64. Why do I need a cane? So I used it, though, very often. I had to skip my vanity over looking like an older woman with a cane and use it because it really was helpful. It made a big difference. And then even like shopping at Walmart, like Walmart was a huge store, and I could not spend any time at this store on like walking. So after and my knee kind of felt like weird, like from where the knee bends on your leg, like it felt like it was connected to something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you couldn't move it. You had to like gradually work your way up and around it. And I still have some of it today. So now we're at, see, December, January, February, March, April. So that's been 5 months. January, February, wait, January, February, March, April. So it's been 5 months altogether. And I want you to know that it's it doesn't stop hurting. And I should put a disclaimer in here that my surgeon said everybody's different with pain and how they recover if they ever kneel again. He said it's different for everybody. My husband had both knees done, and he also had one. He slipped on ice and ripped up his knee when he had done this other time. He's now had it redone, but it's an inconvenience. So one day it was like 70 degrees out, and I thought, I'm not sticking around the house. And I decided to walk probably a half a mile to the grocery store because I was like stuck in the house. I was having like issues with not being out in the world. And the thing about walking to the store, like it ended up hurting me for several days, but it didn't discourage me to stop. So when the physical therapist came, we would walk around the building. There's also several floors in this building, and he would have me go up the steps and down the steps. And he would constantly walk to make sure that, like, I always felt like I had a limp in my right leg, but I didn't. It's just that there's times still today, like yesterday, my knee hurt really bad, and I don't know why. I didn't do anything crazy, but it hurts, and there's no explanation for it. So I don't know. I had a person here that told me she was up and around for after a month. Well, I'm on 5 months and I'm still struggling. And I don't have the medication anymore because they said after, I think either 3 months or 2 months, they no longer give you the oxycodone or the muscle relaxer. So I do take a lot of Tylenol now. And once in a while, I do have some extra muscle relaxers, and I'll take them in the morning to kind of help me get through the day. I'll also probably take two Tylenol because it's usually painful. by the end of the night. So the last couple of weeks, I've done really well. I've had soreness, but I've been able to drive. I can walk, and I can't walk 3 miles a day like I used to, but um, I can walk like around the block twice or to the store and back, and that's a great thing for me, knowing that I'm not limited by that knee. Now, like I said, I can't kneel. I've done it, but it's hard to get up. And then, like I said today, I actually was in the bottom cupboard, and I knelt on my left knee and kept my right knee up, and I still had a hell of a time getting up. Like it was stressful. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying, and that's what the surgeon told me. Do it as well as tolerated, is what he said. So if you want to kneel, or be able to kneel, you have to start out by doing it and working on it, not just expecting, oh, all of a sudden you're better. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. And I'll tell you, when the physical therapist had me on the bed on my knees, um, I can't tell you how much pain that caused. And now when I kneel, like before, sometimes I forget that I can't kneel. Um, if I get up right away, no pain, no pain at all. But like I said, this is like 4 or 5 months ago, and I still have pain in my knee. And they just tell me to either ice it and take Tylenol. And there was one other thing they told me to do. But um, that's pretty much what I went through. I got to tell you that the the thought in my head that I could feel every stitch coming undone when I fell was traumatizing, absolutely traumatizing. And I still am afraid that I'm going to fall. Like, still. Now, I'll see if I have a picture, and I'll put it up here if I have one. It's fine now. It's just a red line going down the going down my knee to my thigh, and I think that'll eventually turn to skin color. I'm not sure. He didn't say I had to put anything on it, but he said, just um, do what you can as tolerated. So I'll kneel if I have a towel folded like in eight. I'll kneel onto that, but I'm not going to kneel like on solid floor or even on like a rug. I don't even feel like that's comfortable. It just feels like tiny. I'll tell you what it feels like. I said it felt like a million strings in there being pulled out of my knee. My husband described it as having the hairs on your knees being pulled up, and that's a great description of how it feels. And I still have that feeling today, but I can recline the chair, I can put my feet up, I can do all that. But what I can't do is sit cross-legged like I used to do in the chair, where I would bend my right knee and then put my left leg over it. I can't do that. I try, but it really hurts if I do that. So again, I don't think I'm fully healed. I think he said it takes 3 to 6 months or even longer, depending on how well you do with therapy and how much work you do on your knee. So I just want to be sure to make sure that this was my experience. Yours could be different. Like I said, one lady told me she had it done. She was up and going in a month, and I don't know how she did it. And I think that I could have been that too if I hadn't fallen, because when I had everything off before I fell, I was bebopping around like you wouldn't even think I had surgery. And everybody was telling me, "Where's your cane? Where's your walker?" And I'm like, "I don't need it." And then I fell, and then I needed it. So, go with your own body, go with your own tolerance, and like do what you want to help you get through it. Like I said, I don't have pain pills anymore, and I just have a few muscle relaxers left. And if I'm having a bad day, I will pop in that muscle relaxer to help me through the day, along with some Tylenol. And I'll ice it if it gets too bad. So I'm just letting you know that that was how I dealt with it and what I went through, because they start physical therapy like a week out of the hospital. And I only had physical therapy once a week, but it was at my house, so it was like a much better way to do it. But my insurance covered it, so that's why I had it. And they were going to discharge me, and I said, if you discharge me, I'm not going to go to an orthopedic physical therapist. When you have it done in your house, in the privacy of your home, where you walk and do everything, I'm not going to go somewhere where I'm not at home. I'm not using the chair. I'm not sitting in the chair the way I would sit at home. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're different when it's at your house. So, please ask me any questions in the comments below. I'll try to answer as much as I can. And just know that, everybody heals as their own or on their own. Everybody is different with the surgery. Like my husband went back to work at 10 days after surgery. So, it's about what you can tolerate. And the more you push yourself, the more better you will get. So once again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you would like more informational videos, please hit the subscribe button and like this video, and it helps me a lot with YouTube. And again, thank you for listening. My name is Donna. I'm 64 years old, and I had total knee replacement. I hope you found some of this helpful, or like you can agree this is what you're doing. I just hope it helps you, because no one told me like how I was going to be or how it was going to be, because everybody's different. So once again, thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you, and you really help my channel if you subscribe and hit that like button, and I will do some more uh, things like this in the future. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye.